Our word of the week this week comes from friend of the channel, the compressor guru. Not a compressor guru or some compressor guru, but the compressor guru. His question is about the word that we translate meek in the New Testament, and he'd like to know more about the significance of it, the deeper meaning, etc. And before we dig into that, let's look at the most famous occurrence. This is from the Sermon on the Mount. It is Matthew chapter 5, verse 5 from the ESV. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Let's dive right in and look at that phrase, that sentence in Koine. Makarioi, blessed. Notice the oi ending on the end is nominative masculine plural. It's talking about people. Blessed is an adjective, and here, because it's nominative masculine plural, it's the subject, and it is of talking about people. Blessed ones. Blessed are, we're going to supply the is here, hoi praes, the meek ones. Notice that hoi again, that oi sounds like the oi ending. Here it's got a rough breathing mark in front of it. It's substantiving the adjective meek and making it meek people. So blessed are the meek ones, or the meek people. Hoti autoi, kleronomeso susi tein gain. Hoti because, autoi they, kleronomesusi, shall inherit, they shall inherit in the future, tain gain, the earth. So let's dive right in and look at our word of the week. Our word of the week is praus, not praus, not pros, but praus. And in the next slide, I'm going to show you why we're pronouncing it that way. It's an adjective. It's translated frequently meek, and it means gentle or pleasant. This Greek word led to the German word Freund, and that German word led to the English word friend. So when we speak of praos with persons, it means gentle, pleasant, or meek, as opposed to like forceful or demanding. If it's used about things, it means things that are mild, like mild spices or mild weather, things that are non-threatening, pleasant, comfortable. All right. In the verse, hoi praes has the article as a substantiver, as I mentioned, and it turns the adjective into a substitute for a noun. So the meek ones, the meek people. Of the gospel writers, Matthew uses it 3 times. The others, I don't believe, use it at all. And when Matthew uses it, he uses it once out of the mouth of Jesus about other people. He uses it once from Jesus about himself. And then he uses it a 3rd time in an Old Testament quote about the Messiah. So we're going to quickly take a look at the other 2 occurrences. So let's dive in Matthew 11:29 from the ESV with the Koine supplied. Jesus speaking about himself. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle, praus, and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. So take a look at that word praus. Don't look at the transliteration, but look at the actual Greek praus here, and look at that funky accenting above the upsilon. So this is why I said it's not praus or pros, it's praus, because we have the accent and diacritical marks like umlauts over that upsilon. That tells us that the alpha upsilon is not forming a diphthong. We are to pronounce the alpha separately from the upsilon and not merge them into a diphthong. So praus, meek, gentle, pleasant. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek or gentle, not forceful, not demanding, not difficult. Let's go on and look at the quote from the Old Testament in Matthew 21:5. Say to the daughter of Zion, behold, your king is coming to you, humble, praos, and mounted on a donkey and on a colt, the foal of a beast of burden. So if we look at how he uses it here in the quote, he says, you've probably expected Messiah to arrive like a warrior king, like the Davidic offspring. But here you see Messiah comes in humble, gentle, meek, not mounted on a stallion, but mounted on the colt of a donkey, in a non-threatening way, with people waving palms, not swords. Pretty great stuff. When we look at the word occurring elsewhere, Paul uses it several times in writing to the Corinthians in both letters to encourage them to adopt a posture of meekness rather than contentiousness. They have a tendency to fight with each other about things like who's got the better spiritual gifts, things like that. He tells them it would be better for them to stop fighting with each other and to take on meekness, gentleness, pleasantness, friendliness to one another, and stop trying to generate a hierarchy among the believers. He also tells Timothy and Titus that meekness is a critically important characteristic for church leaders. You can't be a church leader if you're interested in power and authority and command. You should be meek and gentle and lead the way Jesus led. We see James take this word and contrast it with orge, with wrath, like the natural antonym of wrath is meekness. Like instead of being exploding with passion and power, it would be better for you to be gentle and calm and friendly. Pretty great stuff. So our word of the week, praus, not praus, not pros, led to the German word Freund, which led to the English word friend. You probably think of most of your friends as your friends because they're not overbearing, abusive, confrontational, aggressive people, but they come to you with a gentleness and a pleasantness, right? If that's what you're looking for. So, to the Compressor Guru, I hope that answered your question. To everyone else, I hope you found it interesting. And as you go forth and use that word, go and look at some of the other occurrences in the New Testament, bust out your concordance. I think you'll find them interesting and as well as informative. And until next time, Charis Kai Reine Humin, grace and peace to you.